think it's recording.
Alright. Hello, Taylor. My name is Steven, therapist that I'll be working with you.
Nice to meet you, man.
So what brings you in today?
Oh, man, I'm here. I've got some serious anxiety going on. I'm in school right now, engineering major, senior year. And, you know, I've always got good grades throughout all my life. Straight A student. It's just this semester's tearing me up, man. You know, my grades are slipping. I'm getting a D. It's the first D I ever got in my class, in any of my classes, and I don't know what to do. I'm afraid, you know, I'm gonna get an F, and then I'm gonna flunk out of undergrad, and everything just, you know, my life would be over, man. It's the anxiety just kind of it's eating me up right now.
Okay. So right now you're just really stressed with your school situation right now. Just kind of in the past you feel you said you did well in the past, but now
I've been a great student up to this point. I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on, man. You know, I'm into some high level engineering classes, and I thought I was cut for it. You know, I've always been great in math, but you know, some of these assignments, some of this material is just it's tough, and I'm not fully understanding it all, and I'm just kind of winging it, and my grades are definitely reflecting that.
So right now, how are you dealing with your anxiety? Like, have you received treatment in the past, or is this your first time? Or
No, I mean, I've always had a little bit of anxiety, but nothing like this. I mean, it's really how I deal with it. You know, I go out. I've been drinking quite a bit lately. Buddy gets me some pot sometimes. Smoke some joints. I mean, that makes me feel better. It's a temporary escape from school and thinking about school and thinking about grades. So yeah, I guess now that I think about it, that's what I'm doing.
So you're mainly wanting to come in just to kind of seek help for the anxiety just related to school. Okay.
For the most part, yeah.
Because you're kind of struggling, like right now you feel like you're having a harder time with these courses than previous. But
yes.
And you're dealing with that going out more and kind of just drinking more often and also smoking pot from time to time?
Yeah, I guess so.
Is that alright if we talk about that for a second?
I'll listen now.
Okay.
Talk to me. I'm here for a reason, so.
Can you tell me a little bit about, you know, when you drink or when you smoke pot, like the reason for that? Or
I've just, you know, I'm wrapped up in school, you know, seems like 24 hours a day, and it's taking its toll on me. You know, like I said, I'm not doing well, and you know, when I drink, I smoke, it goes away for, you know, that night. It's that temporary rest. It's that temporary respite. You know, just makes me feel good whenever I'm messed up. So.
Alright. So, do you think that drinking or using marijuana might be contributing to any anxiety you have right now, or is that?
Never really thought about it being a contributor. I mean, in the moment, no. You know, in the moment, it's all good. You know, as soon as I catch that buzz, easy street. You know. But as far as contributing, I don't know.
Okay. Well, have you ever thought about, would you be willing to change drinking or any drug using times, or?
I mean, I see what you're saying. I just don't. I got to find a better way to deal with my anxiety then. You know.
Well, what would you like to see different about your current situation with everything that's going on?
Well, I want to see. Obviously, we comprehend the material. That's number one. Grades are great. And I know I've been a perfectionist all my life. I want straight A's, but at this point, hell, I'm even just willing to settle to understand the material and like get a decent grade and not have to be straight A's. You know, a straight A student. I just want to understand it, man. And you know, if I actually am able to understand it, hopefully that would. I think that would make me feel a little bit better.
How do you feel that maybe cutting back on drinking and using pot or just not doing it at all might improve your situation? Like, do you see any positives to sort of changing that behavior?
Save money.
Save money?
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
I mean, it's obviously, you know, using those things to access. I know I'm an intelligent individual. I know, you know, the consequences it could lead to. So, you know, I guess besides the money, you know, just
Well, what's the worst thing that could happen if you don't change, you know, your substance use patterns that you have now?
what's the worst thing? Well, I guess I could, you know, become a full-blown alcoholic and drop out of school and totally lose everything. So, I mean, I'm drinking just about. If it's not every night, it's every other night at this point.
So what's the best thing that could happen if you maybe change your patterns either by maybe reducing or just stopping, you know, drinking or smoking pot altogether?
What's the best thing that can happen? Well, I wouldn't run the risk of becoming an addict. I guess. So I'd save money. I wouldn't look like a fool in front of my friends. Sometimes, you know, I get a little too drunk and I make an ass of myself. So I guess I can not look like a dumbass in front of my friends.
Okay. So it sounds like there might be both positives and negatives to using right now. You know, I mean, in terms of positives, you know, I mean, it is sociable, kind of what you're saying with friends, and it helps you deal with anxiety. But at the same point, too, it might be influencing your ability to do schoolwork adequately, and you know, eventually it could lead down to a path you said of maybe addiction.
Yeah.
Well, I know the main reason you're coming in is just for anxiety, but is, you know, kind of what you're saying. Do you feel like this substance use might be sort of a factor, maybe contributing to or maintaining difficulty with school?
I mean, I guess so.
Would you be agreeable to even maybe just like throughout the week, just maybe sort of trimming down your usage a little bit?
Yeah, I guess I could try for like weekends or something.
Okay, that would be a good start. And what we can do, we can focus more on your anxiety related to school if that's something you'd like to do. And then, you know, if at any point, you know, you would like to focus more on the substance use, you know, maybe either myself or someone else, if you want to be referred out to someone that deals solely with that, we can do that.
Let's just see how this goes first.
Okay, we'll do that. So you talked a lot about, you know, with your anxiety, you said in the past you did really well with school, but now you're starting to slip, now that you're into higher level courses and they're more demanding.
Yeah.
And you said that you were a bit of a perfectionist, right? So whenever you either receive an assignment back or you're working on a project that's difficult, what kind of thoughts do you have going around in your head?
Well, I want to fuck up. I don't know. I don't understand it. When I'm gonna mess the assignment up. I'll lose points. Boom, there goes my grade.
Okay.
You know, so that's kind of. I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
And is that sort of a recurrent thought? Like, in what situations does that thought occur that you're gonna fuck up or you're gonna have a hard time? Like, when does that occur to you? For instance, does that occur whenever you're reading really difficult material, or whenever you're working on homework or get a lower grade than you would hope for back?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually sitting down and usually doing the work, not being able to comprehend the material. Um, yeah, it's those situations that bring on those thoughts. So
And how often is it, whenever you're reading something really difficult, how often is it that you don't later get better or more familiar with that material?
I mean, how often? Well, it's one class in particular, and it's pretty much every time I try to study for it. And usually, when I try studying for it, I don't understand. I get frustrated. I just don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at those times, is that also when you have that thought of, I'm incompetent, I can't do
Yeah.
this?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So what we can do is we can maybe look at some things to kind of replace those thoughts, maybe stop those. So do you feel like there's anyone else in the class who has that same frustration with the material to where they read it, find it difficult, and then just throw it aside?
I mean, I hear some chatter before class about people being pissed or upset about not being able to.
Okay.
But
So there are other people who also have a difficult time.
from what I hear, yeah.
Okay.
I don't really talk to too many of my classmates, but from what I'm hearing.
Okay. And how often is it in the past? Because I know you said you've been a perfectionist, but in the past you've done really well. Have there been times in the past where you've struggled with something, but in the end you've been able to do it and come out okay?
And I guess there was this one time back in high school, whenever I was in English class, I was having a hard time with the paper, and I talked to my teacher about it. She was able to help me, so that's something that comes to mind.
Okay. So maybe something that you could do is whenever you recognize these thoughts that you're a failure, you're incompetent, or you're not capable of doing something, maybe you can replace those thoughts with something else. Like a lot of other people struggle with this material. They have passed the course. Even in the past, I've struggled with some kind of material like this, where I found it difficult, but I've come out okay. You made it sound like in the past you've got a lot of A's and or B's. So maybe you could replace those negative thoughts with, I can't, to look at I can if I try, or, if I ask a professor, I've done well before even when I've struggled. So maybe the next time you have those thoughts when it comes to mind where you're just thinking of giving up, maybe you can just sort of recognize those thoughts and just maybe try and replace it with something else. It might help too, I don't know if you'd be interested, but some people, what they've done in the past is they kind of come up with a list of replacement thoughts. Things that, whenever they're kind of thinking negatively about themselves, they kind of have that list of things to kind of replace it with. And I mean, you could have different ones depending on the situation. So with schoolwork, since that's the main thing you're feeling anxious about right now and having some struggles with, is maybe you can just come up with a list of, I've been able to ace material that was difficult before. Lots of people struggle with this. Is that something that it seems like you would be willing to do or try?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we will call that for today. All right. So with Taylor, I was using cognitive behavioral therapy and also motivational interviewing. I tried to, in the beginning, just kind of see what it was he was needing help for. He made it seem like it was all anxiety related to school, so initially I started out asking about behaviors he was having that may be contributing to anxiety, or also some thoughts he had. But then as he described behaviors to deal with anxiety, he was talking about substance use, and just to assess his level of motivation and see if he'd be interested in, changing that behavior. I tried asking a handful of different questions to kind of evoke change, and then also, I tried to ask permission to see if he was okay with even covering that topic, and then I tried to use the ORs, the open-ended questions, the affirmations, reflections, and then summarizing. And then from there, we tried to maybe create a plan with the harm reduction to see if he'd be willing to, for now, since he's not super looking forward to change, he's probably maybe in a pre-contemplative or contemplative stage. Just maybe coming up with possibly a plan if he's in the contemplative stage of what he can do just in terms of harm reduction. And then from there, since he was kind of not really open or more ambivalent to change, we kind of moved on to just focusing on his anxiety. And that's whenever I kind of looked more at the behaviors and the thoughts. And so with that, I used techniques like the thought stopping, the thought replacements, and then just kind of maybe keeping a journal of more positive thoughts that he can use in the future whenever he comes up to things that make him feel incompetent or anxious. And then I guess with ethical issues, I'll have to look more into that. But I know what we talked about again, kind of like with the substance abuse, if that's like a major issue that he's facing, if there's not really a lot, he's either withholding, or if, he might be interested in getting treatment in the future, kind of giving him that referral since we're more focused on the anxiety. That's all I have for now.
Good job.
Thank you.